Okay, I just got to show you. This is the snowdrift here. Well, not the drift, it's where the plow came. But this is the wall of snow. It's quite a wall. And here I am. Okay, about 11 years ago, George W. Bush, his term as president came to an end. And at that time, I posted on Facebook for all my friends to see, thank you and God bless you, George W. Bush, for a job well done as president of the United States. And then I had a whole pile of comments because I don't think anybody on my friends list liked George W. Bush. And they thought I was, well, one person knows me that I like to stir the pot and get everyone going. But the other ones didn't get that point. And they thought I was insane to congratulate George W. Bush. But the points that I was making are a lot based upon metaphysical writer Stuart Wilde, the late Stuart Wilde. And Mr. Wilde said a few things that were very appropriate. He said, the politicians that we get are reflective of the collective consciousness of all the people, especially the people in the countries that these politicians represent. And a lot of people went on because they really thought that George Bush had, caused terrible numbers of deaths in these wars in Iraq. And he did a lousy job with New Orleans, helping them after Hurricane Katrina. And there was other things they were complaining about. But Mr. Wilde said, you have to understand that we are holographic in nature. And what does that mean? It means that, well, if you look into the science of things like reflexology, is it a science? Some people don't agree it's a science. Some people say it's phony baloney. But if you've ever had a good foot massage, you know it really relaxes your whole body. And certain kinds of acupressure, which is acupuncture but without the needles, will use things like the ear in order to treat other parts of the body, which is implying that we are holographic. If you take a hologram, a printed hologram, and you cut it into pieces, each one of the individual pieces of that holographic print contains the whole picture, just a lot smaller than the original. And there, Michael Talbot, a long time ago, late Michael Talbot, all my authors are getting pretty much dead. That's a long time ago we had this information. Michael Talbot wrote the book, The Holographic Universe. And if we get back to Stuart Wilde, he said, in essence, if you're hating George W. Bush because of you think he did a shitty job as the president, you have to remember that in a holographic universe, you are a part of that hologram, and therefore you and George Bush are one and the same thing. You're both in the hologram. So if you're hating George Bush for doing all this stuff, you're hating yourself. And that's a hard one to digest because we normally think, well, I'm a separate body and a separate mind than George W. Bush. But you're all connected. So there's things like the collective unconscious, which was described very long time ago by the father of psychology, Carl Jung. And, well, the whole point of it is yeah, we didn't like George W. Bush, but he was a reflection of the collective, especially in the United States. So what do we have if we examine the character traits of George W. Bush. Appears to be kind of an idiot. Hires a lot of people that are powers behind the throne. We had Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld, for example. They were considered to be very bright, those two, especially Cheney, but heartless men who are all about the mind, but no heart. And so Dick Cheney was continually getting heart work done, all kinds of heart operations. So what does it really mean about the American population at the time of George W. Bush? If he is actually a reflection of the collective, then that's what you have in the United States. A lot of heartless people running around with very cunning minds. And that's what you get as your president and your senior cabinet members. If we look today at the reflection of the collective of the United States, once again, we get a very divisive person, Donald Trump. Does he have a heart or no? Some people of the QAnon phenomenon say, well, secretly he's working to clean up the swamp like he promised. All these drops of QAnon. But on the outside, we don't see it. Somebody mentioned something I mentioned a long time ago. I thought that Donald Trump has got a cocaine problem because he's constantly sniffing. Someone else recently said it's Adderall that he's addicted to, which is another stimulant. So does that mean that Americans are doing a lot of cocaine again? I mean, we knew back in the 1980s that it was a huge thing. But we know stories out of California that people in high tech are microdosing all kinds of substances to try and give them an edge in their brain power. Donald Trump was famous for being on vacation playing golf in his resort Mar-a-Lago. And does that mean that all the rest of the Americans are off playing golf when they should be busy at work on Pennsylvania Avenue at the White House? In other words, how many Americans, say we work really hard, but are really not working at all? That is your president, and he reflects you. And we all know the stories about Epstein. There's all kinds of videos of Epstein hanging out with Donald Trump. And, well, we have Donald Trump saying, well, I didn't know that guy at all. It was a complete lie. Clearly, he was in the know with Epstein. And now with the impeachment of Donald Trump, well, we have, are people going to turn on him? Seems like some of them are going to turn on him in order to maybe get a reduced sentence. So, if you hate Trump or you hate Hillary or whoever is going to be the next Democrat, you are, well, it's a human thing to do. It's a human thing to do to really dislike people intensely when you feel that they're incompetent or they're corrupt or they're criminal. And it's very hard to go against human nature. If someone is acting aggressively with you, what is it likely that you are going to do? For me, if someone's acting aggressively to me, I set a boundary and I defend it. In other words, I won't be a pushover. This is not the Jesus teaching of turning the other cheek. Why? Well, it doesn't work. I suppose if someone is highly aggressive and they got a gun in your face, maybe you're going to act differently. I don't know how I would. That's not what I mean, but when I've got people pushing me around, I'm not going to let them push me around. But, if there was wave a gun in my face, I suppose I might act differently. Where am I going with all this? Well, Course in Miracles. Have you ever heard of the Course in Miracles? It's kind of a big book, and it talks about this kind of thing and what your attitude should be around people. The Course in Miracles says that there's only two emotions on the planet: love and hate. And if someone is acting very aggressively and pushy to you, it's actually a call for love. The person is calling for love. Well, all right. If we take that, what does it really mean? Well, I told you what I do. If someone gets pushy, I basically tell them, that you're not going to push me around. So is that love? So this is where this Course in Miracles falls down. It's not applicable to everyday life. It's more, maybe you can do internal work. In other words, after you've had... So if you are reflecting on your altercation with someone where you had to set a boundary because they were being very pushy, and you're reflecting on it and you're trying to figure out, okay, Course in Miracles says this person is crying out for love, and I can't give them love. I'm not going to go over and hug this person. This person looks like they're going to punch me out. So I can't express love to this person at this particular time. At this particular time, I'm actually being a tiger and showing my teeth or something, stay the hell away from me. So how does this really work, this Course in Miracles? Well, they talk a lot about forgiveness. So what you have to do is, once you have a moment to reflect on the situation, you have to see if you've got some energetic ties to the person you were in a pushing match with, and forgive them. And then what do you do? Well, what I don't do is go right back and find that person and say, do you want a hug now? No, I don't want that person in my life. But I don't want to have the connection to this person, an energetic connection, so I want to let go of the whole incident. It's still going to be in memory. And if I see that person, I'm going to be on my guard for that person. So it seems to me the explanation in the Course in Miracles about forgiveness makes sense. It's not forgiving the other person for their bad behavior. It's the wrong word altogether. They call it forgiveness. It's not forgiveness. It's letting go of the energy associated with that person. And how do you do that? Meditation, feeling your feelings instead of suppressing your feelings. You feel your feelings and meditate on them. And you feel the energy. Is there, what exactly am I feeling around that situation? And you want to meditate on it and feel the energy in your body until whatever energy that is unpleasant has gone away. So we're not pushing it away. We're feeling it until we feel it, and feel it and feel it until it's gone. So it's a lot of breathing into that feeling, if there's any feelings associated with it. So it's not, it's like book learning, calling this forgiveness. This is not forgiveness. That is like religion. So this is the problem with Course in Miracles. It's a religion. It doesn't help you in real life. It's all mind stuff. The whole book is a huge book like this, and it's full of mind stuff. So it's not useful. And somebody recommended it the other day, and I said, don't. It's too many words. It's all for your mind. And what I'm talking about feeling, it's in your heart. It's in your body. It's not about what's going on with thoughts in your mind. Thoughts in your mind aren't going to get you there. This little bit of information, I'm not saying forgive this person. That's a mental thing. It's not even real. You can't forgive people. You can't forgive them. What does it mean to forgive them? It's like some kind of a going around and telling everyone, I've forgiven them, I've forgiven them. It's not. That's bullshit. It's a bullshit thing. It's all mind stuff. What you have to do is deal with the energetics of the situation, and you have to do it on your own, the way I explained it. So don't get wrapped up in Course in Miracles things. And when I see these things, next time I see someone say it's a call for help or cry for love or something, I'm going to have to explain this or give them this video, because forgiveness, no one understands what that means. We all think it's like going to church and lighting a candle. That is not what it is. It's all about, everything about religion is incorrect. It's all about saying prayers together in the pews in church. That's not going to do you any good. It's a bunch of garbage. It's garbage. It forms guilt, which is a very low vibration. It's all about guilt. I shouldn't have done this and I shouldn't have done this. I'm sorry, and please forgive me, and I'll forgive you, and all this stuff. It's not. It's all in your mind. You have to deal with the energetics of things, which is feeling the feelings and being human. These religions are not about being human. They're written so that you go there, you feel guilty, and you put money in when they're passing around the collection plate. It's not good for you at all. The teachings, like I said, turn the other cheek. No, you don't let somebody beat you up because that's what Jesus says to do. Screw that. That's such a pile of shit. That's just the problem with religionists, is that they're not realistic, and it doesn't work. If it doesn't work in real life, don't use it. Just because it says it in this stupid book from, all the people that wrote the book are dead. It's peer pressure from dead people. Get rid of your Bible. Become real, authentic. What else did I want to talk to you about? Well, there's always more. But, as far as George Bush goes, what do I think of him? I wouldn't have elected him president, but you didn't have much choice. You have a Democrat and a Republican, and both, every time you get someone who's a loser. I mean, the last decent president the United States had was Jimmy Carter, and people turfed him out because the Iran hostage situation that he couldn't resolve. What was really going on with the Iran hostage situation, it hasn't come out yet, but there's a backstory. And the backstory is going to be something like Jimmy Carter was being set up. He was a good man, and he was being set up by deep state to be a failed president, because they basically wanted Reagan in there, Ronald Reagan, and because he was all about increasing military spending, which is the deep state, and that's the backstory of Jimmy Carter. Were there really you cannot trust all of this foreign news, foreign countries. It's all the same deep state all over the world, and they manipulate everything to get what they want. Control over you, and make you outraged. So in the end, George Bush is a part of you, and if you have a Donald Rumsfeld or a Dick Cheney in you as well, then it's up to you to find those particular energies in you and see if you've got energetically active things in you. In other words, if you think of these people, do you get angry or do you want to celebrate? If you have either of these emotions, you've got energetics around these people. It's essentially a karma. You've got karma with these people, and it's not about you going and finding them and going out for a beer with them or punching them in the nose. Again, it's energetics in your body. So you have to meditate on this stuff, and you have to dissipate the anger, and you have to dissipate your feeling that you want to celebrate them. You want to go and get everything very neutral. Why? Because if you've got an emotion, either a good one, like celebrating, or a bad one, like I hate this person, that emotion is charging up the karma you have with these people. And you might not have interactions with these people, but your karma will play out with other people in your local surroundings. And you don't want that. It's a karmic play, it's a drama. You want to get away from this so that you can release these things, so you can experience something other than karma. Some people say, no, you don't want any kind of karma, good or bad. You don't want it because it is forcing you to have scenes with people, karmic scenes. And the opposite of karmic scenes is synchronicity and serendipity and growth for you. So ditch your karma, deal with the energetics, and get ready for higher dimensional living.